Hey folks, it's Dave Wood. I wanted to welcome you to episode 113 of The Daily Shortcut. What I wanted to do today is share with you what I believe you need to create lasting victory and financial success in your business online. I thought I'd talk about what I believe is the most important key to creating success that continues to last and grow, and starts growing if you're brand new. I want you to watch today's episode and leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you do that in detail, tell me what you're going to change. You could be the winner of today's contest, and we give a free book every day because I believe in empowering people to read. The most important part of what I want to share is evidence that if you focus on improving one process at a time, you're going to improve your results in a way better way than if you focus on lots of things at a time. One focus at a time. The problem most people have in their lives and in their business is actually a lack of focus. When your energy's scattered all over the place, when you don't really have the ability to just work in one area, you can't have the ability to improve anything very well at all. You just don't. You know what I mean? It's like if you're trying to do 10 things at once, you don't do anything well. The jack of all trades is the master of none, as the saying goes. Your energy might be here, it might be there, it might be nowhere. You might be working on 10 things at once and work way more hours, but you're not really doing anything well. And you're not really getting good. You're not becoming a master at anything before you move to the next thing. And I see this as the biggest problem that somebody new and experienced has online if they're trying to market. The constant distractions that are perpetuated by our industry don't help. Now that's actually the same problem that most martial artists have, for example, as well. I'm a martial artist. I study fighting arts, and I particularly practice Wing Chun Kung Fu, and I like all martial arts. One of the things that I learned a long time ago in martial arts, there's a saying from Bruce Lee. I think that it goes something like this. Now I'm probably going to butcher this a little bit because I always misquote everyone because I'm not memorizing this, it's just for my memory, but that's okay. He said something like this: it's much more scary to fight somebody who's practiced one kick 10,000 times than to fight someone who knows 10,000 kicks. Now, this is true in a lot of contexts, and I'll get into that later, but a lot of times in marketing, the single biggest problem people have is they never master anything before moving on to something new. I remember hearing a speech a long time ago, back in 2002, in a room with 15,000 people. John Maxwell came, and he said something, I'll never forget what he said. He said, there's been a lot of studies on skills, and if you rate people's skills on a level of 1 to 10, 1 being not skilled at all, and 10 being you are the best in the world, he said people are naturally on the lower end or naturally on the higher end. And in an entire lifetime of work, you can move something that you're either good at or not good at 2 or 3 points total. In other words, if you're naturally a 6, you can move to a 9. If you're naturally a 1, you could move with a whole life of work to a 3, but a 3 makes minimum wage, but a 9 makes $1 million a year. So would you rather focus on what you're good at or what you're not good at? So what you want to do in your marketing is that you want to focus all your attention on what you can be good at, what you can be great at. See, one of the things that I decided at Empower Network recently, and we've decided as a team together, is that we're going to have one focus at a time as a team. I've learned that until you focus and master something, you need to get it down and focus all your energy, getting it to a process where the process can improve itself from the people and systems involved. And until you get it there, you actually shouldn't move on to something else. And that is true even if the wind is blowing in the middle of a video. I'm going to complete this. And as you hear the wind blowing, if it's hitting the microphone, you can smile and buy more things. I'm joking, kind of. Now, let's go on. You're never going to make the improvements that you want by putting out 1,000 fires and focusing in a million directions. And I've done this right, I've done this not right. You're always going to be able to only improve what you're focused on with all your energy. Now in marketing and building a business, little things over time compound to make a massive difference over time and lots of actions. For example, let me give you an example of this before I continue on. If let's say you're focused on getting your open rate to improve in your email, there's little things that you can do to improve your open rate. Well, an open rate also is going to make it so you get more clicks, which makes it so you get more sales. So we send about 30 million emails a month. So if I improve my open rate and I double that, it literally can double the amount of sales. It can move the amount of clicks in our emails to 100,000 clicks a month. It can move it from that to literally 200,000 clicks a month, and that could double our buyers. So focusing on one thing for a whole month is literally the way that you can transform a whole business. Now, the best thing that I could say about business itself is that building a profitable business in a way that gets you big results, it only is going to work by focusing on one thing in that business at a time and making that process work in an optimal way. Focusing on blogging, for example, until you've got content creation down, and then focusing on another part of your blog until you got conversions down. Then focusing on, for example, email open rates and then click-throughs, and then focus on getting the things that you're sending them to get more lead capture conversions, or to get more applications, or to get more sales conversions, until you've got every part of that process optimal and you got people clicking through to your lead capture pages, to your sales videos. And then you want to focus on the next step, and that might be getting those people who visit those pages to put in their email, to fill out more information, to buy something. And then once you've got that down, you want to focus on the transition between that and the next step, which could be, for example, getting somebody to watch a sales video all the way through who's in the right audience. It could be getting somebody on the phone until you've got people warmed up and you've got them excited to see content, to see sales videos, to see whatever's coming next for them in that process. Then you want to focus on making the sales part of that process that's bringing people in and actually selling a little bit better. So you might focus on the sales video. And then you might focus on the checkout process and making the checkout page a little bit better and testing one variable at a time. Focus one thing at a time. I was actually teaching the other night one of the employees we've had for a long time, Tara, how to manage conversions and split testing in email and how it makes a difference. And this is a metaphor that actually she came up with the metaphor, and then I came up with the metaphor. This is one I came up with. I explained it to her like this. I was like, imagine you have Walmart. And in Walmart, you've got three groups of people. You've got people that are shopping. This is if you exclude the employees, right? You got people that are shopping. Right now, they're shopping. They're putting things in a cart. You got people that are walking out of Walmart without buying, and you've got people that are in a checkout line with a list of things to buy. Who in there makes the most sense to focus sales attention on? It's the people in the checkout line, right? In other words, focusing on people that are responding is going to get you bigger results than focusing on people that are walking out without buying. So a lot of people focus all their efforts on trying to market people that don't want something when they ignore the people that want something. So if you focus and think in the right way, you can optimize different parts of your process, and I'm here to teach you to think. Now, if you do that and you've got that down and you're a master of one part, then it's like the difference between somebody who knows 10,000 kicks and the person who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. See, when I started taking martial arts, I was 12 years old. I was taking karate. I don't really think that one martial art most of the time is particularly better than another. I think that all of them have things that are better than another. What matters is not the art, it matters how you practice. For example, when I was taking karate, I was in a really good karate school with a really good teacher. The problem is that we never really focused on one move at a time. We learned new moves all the time. So some of the students, for example, they were really good because they're kind of ADD, they're kind of obsessive, and they would go practice something and practice something and practice something and practice something. They'd get good all on their own. In the class, nobody ever really got good who just went to the class and never practiced on their own. So let's go a transition into the future, and then I'm going to use this as a metaphor for you and your business. When I was 19, I started taking a Chinese martial art called Wing Chun. I was studying in school in Utah in the Wing Chun Kung Fu Council by Sifu Ron Heimberger. He later passed away from brain cancer, but he was brilliant. When I got there, the way they trained was completely different. They didn't teach me lots of stuff. Truthfully, they didn't even teach me a lot. They just taught me one thing at a time until it was boring, repetitive. And then they would put it there, and they would make 1,000 corrections on that one thing until I was doing it exactly right, but I was doing it exactly right unconsciously. And you could do it literally with a blindfold, or when you're being attacked, or when you're sleeping, you could do that one thing and execute it well in a certain environment. Then they would teach you something new. Those little things stacked and stacked and stacked, and they stacked and they stacked and they stacked. Now, I really didn't know how much better that was making my ability to use that in combat situations because I was just practicing Kung Fu and I enjoyed it. I didn't know until I went back 3 months after training like that. Now, I want you to think about that. I think it was about 12 hours of classes a week that I was going to. And then I went back to Alaska, where I'm from. I had all these friends that I used to spar with all the time. I'd grown up taking martial arts, karate. I was in black belt, secondary black belt in 2 forms of karate. I took aikido, a little bit of judo, a little bit of Japanese jiu-jitsu. We used to trade blows, me and my buddies, and that's the way that we'd spar. We'd trade blows and we'd make each other better, and we were about equal. It was people I'd trained with my whole life. Well, I remember I went back to Alaska after this with some of my buddies that had been taking karate with me and other martial arts and taekwondo and other things. Literally our whole lives we'd been doing it, and I just beat the living heck out of them like they couldn't do anything. They couldn't hit me, and I was literally able to pound them from every direction without even thinking. That wasn't really because Kung Fu's better than karate. It's really not. I think that it has good things. I actually like it better myself because it's something that I like, but it's not because of that. The reason is not because it's better, it's because how I was training was superior to how I trained when I grew up. In other words, rather than knowing 10,000 kicks, I was practicing one kick 10,000 times and able to execute it in all environments unconsciously. You build your business like that. Build your business one thing at a time. There's a principle-based way to do things just one thing at a time, and you focus on the next action. So in other words, in a process, you have a series of actions, and you want to get good at one of those actions at a time before moving to the next. The wind is blowing, and as it is, I want you to pay attention more carefully. Because focusing on one thing at a time doesn't mean that you don't end up mastering and creating systems for lots of things over time that are all taking place simultaneously at some point in the future. It means that the way to efficiently create those systems right now today is by only creating a part of that system and systematizing that part before you move to the next one, and that when that part is operating independently from you and it's being improved in your absence, only then do you move on to the next part of your system and take the next step. That's it. Little things, they compound, they make a big difference. But you can only do that if you're focused on one thing at a time. You got to focus on one thing at a time. First, you get to sponsoring. Maybe you start sponsoring people once a week, and then you start sponsoring people once a day. Then you could sponsor 2 people a day. Then you can systematize it so it happens every day without you there, and you can start talking to people to do high-ticket purchases. And then you can systematize that, and then you're talking to people to do big high-ticket purchases and working with big leaders in your team over time, and then you start improving just one more part of your business. This is how you've got to think. Then you systematize that, and you keep going and systematizing each new part to get to the next level. Operating like that is going to keep your work output relatively equal over a long period of time while simultaneously compounding massively the results of your work and your effort. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I'm here to serve you in your business by giving you one victory at a time. That's why I developed the Daily Shortcut. It's why we make these videos. Inside the greater whole of the Daily Shortcut contains the solutions to help you solve your problems on a daily basis, both by educating you but also giving you the tools, and that's what we're here to do. I'm here to actually serve and to help you be better and to help you to create results that you couldn't create on your own, because I think that we're stronger together. And this could be demonstrated in a lot of ways. For example, if you take the principle of synergy in construction and you put lots of poles together, 2 poles is able to sustain way more weight than just one pole of the same multiplied by 2. It multiplies. People, when they're locked together, they multiply the effort of any individual person in that group. You can make way more money working with a team of people who are executing than you can doing something on your own. And I really believe in people, and I really believe in you. I believe that you can do great things. Now, I want you to tell me what you're going to change in the comments, and this is how I want you to think. I want you to think about your process in your business or what you do. And maybe you have a job and you just want to get better at your job. We'll help you do that in the Daily Shortcut. Here's what I want you to think of. For example, on the internet, our goal is to bring from good traffic, first to traffic, then to good traffic, then to good leads, maybe then just leads, then good leads, and take those good leads, and by that I mean people that are in your market that want to buy from you, get them into a business, get them into a product, allow them to stay in, treat them right, and maximize the value of those customers while maximizing the value that you get. So each thing there is one piece at a time. I can teach you a lot about this, and I'll do that now when you put your email in and you click the button and go to the next page for your bonuses. You're going to get an audio download of today's show. In addition to that, you're going to get a workbook to take these steps and apply them in your life and business. And we want to see what we can do. I've actually got a training on the next page that breaks down the 5-step formula to create a 6-figure business online, and it's yours for free. When you scroll down now, you put your email in, because we're here to help you make better. I want you to pay attention to every email we send. Write me your thoughts in the comments on exactly what you learned in today's show and how you're going to implement it. I would love to send you a free book if you win, because I believe that if you read, you're going to become better. Right now, scroll down, write a comment, put your email in, and claim your bonuses. And I'll see you on the beaches of the world. I'm looking forward to it, my friend. See you in the next episode of The Daily Shortcut.